What is going on, guys? My name is cosmovsgoku, and welcome to the 9th ever Journeyman Abridged cast interview.
And today, I'm throwing everything over to TwstdFlaems, because he's interviewing me.
Hi. I guess I'm doing the interview thing, so I've got all my handy-dandy questions and all that sort of stuff, because...
You don't have to memorize, they're professional.
Dude, I don't even read our scripts. Like, I edit them, and I don't read them. I just look at what doesn't look funny and then change it to something that's actually funny.
Yeah.
That's how all the human... No, I just ad-libbed.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I operate.
Yeah. The flies, I know, right?
Yeah, I know, right? A lot of stuff that I've ad-libbed. This isn't my interview. This is your interview.
Oh, okay.
So, let's focus on that.
It's finally about me.
Yeah, sure. So, the first question on this list. How are you doing today?
I'm very tired. It is... I know this will release probably 10th of January, we're kind of looking at. It's like the 2-year anniversary, but today's the 13th of November, which means I got up at 5 o'clock this morning to watch the Disney Plus Day announcements, and that was a waste of time. Because it wasn't worth waking up at 4 o'clock this morning.
Why?
Mainly
It's not
because...
a question on the list I'm actually ad-libbing.
Mainly because the announcements only amounted to less than 10 minutes.
Okay.
So there was no,
So kind of like half the Nintendo Directs.
Not even. Because the Obi-Wan Kenobi sizzle reel was only a minute long.
Okay.
There was no other Star Wars announcements. And the only new Marvel Studios stuff was in like the last 2 minutes of their 15-minute presentation.
Which would all just been title stuff, wouldn't it?
Yeah. It was just announcing titles like Echo and Spider-Man Freshman Year and a new look at Fury in Secret Invasion. But it was cool to see footage from both She-Hulk, Ms. Marvel, and Moon Knight.
I thought Miss Marvel was coming into the MCU itself, like the cinematic universe.
It is.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize they were doing her with a standalone series first.
Yep. Yeah, so Kamala Khan's been introduced in her self-titled series, releasing late next year apparently, and then she'll be in the Marvels with Captain Marvel and
that
Captain
sounds
Marvel.
like so much homework.
It's the MCU now is in a place where it's generally expected that everyone's going to be watching all the Disney Plus shows and stuff like that.
I don't have Disney Plus.
Yeah, but I know you've watched everything.
Yar.
Be a pirate's life.
Sometimes. I don't condone it, but all these streaming services are expensive.
Look,
They're expensive.
we joke about the pirate stuff, but I just gave you my Disney Plus login, so...
This is true, yes. Very true. Alright. For those of you who might not know, who do you play in Naruto and Digimon?
So in Naruto, I play... Wait for that truck to go past. I play Sasuke. You're not going to make me do this in voices, are you?
I didn't have to do it in voices when we did mine.
I play Sasuke Uchiha. Goro Orochimaru Kiba. Minato Namikaze. As you can see, I'm wearing the weave jacket today.
You are.
Who else do I play in Naruto? Oh, Choji Akamichi. Anko Mitarashi.
You know you don't have to do the voices for
Yeah, I know, but it's fun. Danzo! I think that's... And then in Naruto... Those are pretty much the main ones because the only ones I remember, apparently. And in Digimon, I play almost everyone in the Digidestined Children's Digimon. I play all but one Digimon in the Agumon line. I play the entire Gabumon line, the entire Patamon line. I play Ikakumon in the Gomamon line. I play Motimon in the Tentamon line. I play the whole Biomon line. But I don't play anyone in the Palmon line or in the Garamon line.
So the girl Digimon, except for Biomon.
Yeah. Except for Biomon!
Yeah. You didn't do any of them in the voice.
Oh, fine. Gabumon!
Jesus, don't, please.
Goramon! Ikakumon! Patamon! Who else would we say?
Anjumon?
Anjumon! I'm not doing Metal Goromon.
You don't voice any of the Digidestined, do you?
Not in Adventure, no.
No.
No. I'm playing a Digidestined in Zero 2.
Are we announcing stuff like that?
I mean,
Have we announced stuff to do with Zero 2?
We kind of. Then we talked about it in your interview.
Maybe. I think we both voiced one Digidestined.
Yes.
And I voiced most of the Digimon in that one.
You voiced 2.
I do voice 2.
Yeah.
I forgot about one of them. Yes.
Which is like 2 characters in one.
Yes. Which is 2 different voices, which is going to be fun.
Yeah.
I think I voiced the most Digimon in 02.
Yeah, you do.
Because I'm the Armadillomon line, most of the Hawkmon line. And
some of the Beamon line.
Some of the Beamon line and some of the Wormmon line.
Yeah.
I'm like 50% on like all of those.
Yeah, because of all the digital... You're in every single DNA Digivolution
Yes,
in 02. Except for Omnimon.
Yes. But I am in Paladin mode. No, it's Imperial Dramon Paladin mode, I think he is, or Fighter mode.
Paladin mode is what you're thinking of, yeah.
Paladin mode, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one I'm also part of.
Yeah. Because it's like...
Because it's Steamon.
Yeah.
They got more announcements.
Yeah. Yeah, fine. Okay, fine. Alright, fine then. Cody and Ken. In 02 I will of course be playing Davis.
As well as Beamon.
And Beamon!
Whereas I'm Armadillomon and Hawkmon.
And I'm Lemon.
And I'm Steamon.
And I'm X-Beamon!
So we could do DNA Digivolution. We're not doing
No.
It's a pain in the ass.
You've got a session to do today. Let's not blow out your voice.
Yes, no, please don't. Yes. And I'll ask you that question because that's dumb because you helped create this thing.
I did. Man, what a ride.
What is the meaning of your screen name?
So back in 2000 and...
Yes.
3 or 4, I want to say. I discovered TV.com thanks to a friend of mine at the time. And you had to be a certain age to be able to join. It was in their terms and conditions. Or whatever it is. Like, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. You had to be, I believe the age was 13 and I was still 12. So I'm like, I'm going to lie about my age like a cool 12-year-old.
I like how that's the type of website you were lying to get on there.
And I needed to think of a screen name on the top off the top of my head. And I love Fairly Odd Parents. We've discussed before, I love Dragon Ball. Don't. So I'm like, what would happen if Cosmo...
I'm not going to touch your trash.
What would happen if Cosmo from the Fairly Odd Parents was versing Goku? So Cosmo versus Goku.
Fair enough.
That's...
Cosmo would win that.
Oh... Yeah,
I hate power scaling, but I think Cosmo would win that because of the magic.
Who do you think would win? Cosmo from the Fairly Odd Parents or Goku from Dragon Ball? Let us know in the comments below.
And what about Doug Dimmadome?
Oh, he just solos the whole... He's a multi-verse.
His cat just solos everything.
Multiverse stomper.
Yeah. Cool. No doubt. Alright. What is your relationship with Naruto and Digimon?
Weird question.
It's in the list you gave me of
I
questions,
know.
which means you've asked someone else's question.
You've asked everyone else's question.
Well, there you are. It's not a weird question then.
But I've got a really... so I've always wanted to... I love Digimon. First episode of Digimon I ever saw was in the year 2000. It was the episode with Skullgreymon. And somehow that episode just got me hooked.
Yeah.
And then I playing pretend in the playground, like, let's play Digimon. So I always tried to do all their voices and playing, like, oh, Digimon! No. Which is how I got, so good at playing Gabumon! And I really want to be Bertramon. But Bertramon! But I always did Bertramon like Metal Greymon for some reason.
I have a story about this sort of thing. I'll tell it to you later.
Please do. Do you want to tell it?
No, finish your story first
okay.
and I'll tell mine.
Please. And then, so I just kind of always loved Digimon, and it's a series I always go back to, and I cried during Kisna. And Naruto, my best friend, introduced me to in 2007, and I watched, like, the Land of Waves in, like, one hit.
Okay.
I did try to watch it dubbed, I did then switch over to subbed, and then
The pastel art.
Pastel?
Yeah, it's very pastel-y.
The Land of Waves?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gorgeous colour choice.
It's very pastel-y, though.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't. It's too misty.
So I caught up in the anime. When I caught up in the anime, it was up to Kabuto leaving with Sai leaving with Kabuto and Orochimaru.
Wow, you caught up that late?
Yeah, in the anime.
Holy wow, okay, because I caught up in the anime, completely derailing yourself.
Yeah.
I started watching Naruto when the filler started.
In part 1.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Like, I basically caught up. I think I saw the Naruto Sasuke fight week to week.
That's weird.
And then watched every single week of the fillers.
This is why you wrote the filler episode, not me.
Yes. So I had to live through the fillers week to week.
Yeah.
Like, that's the age of Naruto that I was watching. And I dropped it in Shippuden when it got to the first lot of fillers with Shippuden.
Which was the first lot of fillers? Was that the...
It's just after the encounter with Sasuke. When he nearly kills, with the explosion, the start of Distance.
Mhm.
With the, you are not an explosion.
When he's about to use Kirin.
Yeah, he's just like that with the sword and...
Oh yeah, that
that
bit.
bit. Yeah.
So genuinely, he went to use Kirin. That blew my mind when I recognised it. Spoilers for that
So
episode.
that's when I dropped Naruto.
Wow.
Yeah.
I caught up in that arc.
Yeah.
So it's funny. That's a weird parallel.
Yeah.
And then in the manga, so I started reading the manga from there, and I caught up during Sasuke versus Itachi.
Wow, okay.
In the manga.
I was reading the manga from there. I moved from anime to manga.
Yep.
Because that was at the stage where I'd stopped watching anime.
Yep.
Because I think Bleach and Naruto both went into filler at the same time. And I was already watching One Piece weekly at that stage. So it was like, cool, I'm watching the big three and 2 of them are in filler.
Yeah. There's no point then.
So I'm like, cool, this is boring.
Yeah.
I'm done with filler. I'm going to just read the source material.
Speaking of filler, I figured out something for I figured something out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I don't know if you call me a fucking dumbass for going from 0 to 100 with One Piece, but I figured something out on my way here this morning, and I'll run you through it later.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, because it's a really good idea in my head, but I need to... Yeah.
Verbalize it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
We'll talk about it after.
Yeah, this is how production meetings go.
Like I said, this is how it happens.
And then I started cosplaying Naruto, Itachi. I started cosplaying from Naruto, I started cosplaying Itachi, it's how I met in Blightby. We started dating. In Blightby, read Naruto in like the whole manga in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, she's watching One Piece.
Now she's finally watching One Piece. Yes.
Thank God.
Dr. Alon Park. I'm up to date on the manga, but please don't be mean with spoilers anyway. For those who might not be. And so I by virtue of meeting my wife because of Naruto, and we bonded really early over Digimon. Yeah.
Fair enough. That is absolutely fair. What is your favourite scene of every scene from every series we've done? Of the 2 series we've done.
Yeah.
So far.
So far. Yeah. I love teasers. That's not an announcement, by the way. That's so hard because for me, it's because I see every scene so often, being involved in the editing process, and I have seen more completed scenes than anyone else has,
including deleted completed scenes.
Yeah, my brain is really messy with that.
Yeah,
but I do love Minato versus Obito or Master Man with the Rasengan.
Yeah, the ramen guy, yeah.
Yeah, the ramen guy, yeah.
Or Minato versus Naruto's dad.
Boruto's dad's dad.
Yeah, Naruto's dad's dad versus Boruto's dad's dad.
I do like that scene. It's the only scene that, ever I have to hopefully deliver Rasengan. That is really hard. I don't envy, what are their screen names? Rising Avenged or Pythonics for having to say... I guess you as well. You have a single Rasengan.
I have a single Rasengan as well.
Because that's really hard to say with conviction. That's so hard.
So is Chidori.
Chidori's easy.
And Lightning Blade.
But you do that perfectly.
Thank you.
Like, perfectly.
Thank you.
I
commit.
Yes.
CMOCOMITTTTTTTT.
HD, DVD, DVD player.
I'll choose Rubber Goose. Green juice.
Guava juice.
Yeah.
Giant snake with the egg, large fries, chocolate shake.
That was a fun show.
I love it so much. I've got the first... Or am I making that up?
I don't know.
No, I wanted to buy the first 5 seasons, but I waited for the full series to be on sale on DVD and I'll buy it. Rather than buying like the first half and then rebuying it again later.
Yeah.
Waste of money. What was your question?
Favorite scene.
Favorite scene. So, Lee versus Gara.
Yeah.
That was one of the first scenes we conceptualized.
It was probably the first scene completed that episode.
It was. So I knew we had to get that right.
Mm-hmm. Which is super sped up from the original footage, because Naruto is slow. If you have not gone back and watched Naruto, it is so slow.
Go back, pause this interview right now. Go back and watch it. Come back. You'll see what we're talking about when we say it is fucking slow. So yeah, Lee versus Gara. I know I'm picking a lot of fight scenes. Sasuke versus Naruto at the Valley at the end. Mm-hmm. Just because myself and Python just work our asses off for that as well. Strangely, Kakashi versus Zabuza with from episode 1 with the boom 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 back.
Yeah. I
can't remember the lines, but yeah. Those who abandon their friends are worse than trash. That scene with Obito. Everything with Minato. Sex makes babies. Sex makes babies.
I'm proud of that one.
Yeah. I could just keep reaming off. Reaming, that's not the right word. Listing off.
Reeling off?
Yeah, thank you. Listing off scenes from Naruto, but I will be here all day. So I'll switch gears to Digimon. I love the opening scene from episode 1 because I think that's something that no other content creators would have thought of doing. At least to my knowledge, with the flashback to Marco and Maki and Daigo with the Dark Masters. Edamon versus Metal Greymon was really, really fun. The scene in episode 2 where they're eating Horomon. It's such an understated scene. I have to remember I can't spoil scenes from later.
Because this stage, what's out? 1 and 2 are the only things out?
Yeah, episode 3 has been pushed to February 1st.
Okay.
So unless this somehow
You
gets
heard it here second.
Yes, we announced it on Facebook and Twitter. So hopefully it still keeps to that by the time this releases.
If not,
I love the scene at the end of episode 1 where it is my raft and you can't build your own raft. That scene.
there is only one, but it is mine.
Yeah. Could a muffin cake do this? Patamon Digimon do? That scene. The opening scene of episode 4. I'm not going to spoil it. The final scene of episode 5. And in episode 3, the Warp Digipollution sequence.
Okay.
That was the first scene we edited for episode 3 of Digimon, and it just... Every time. That was kind of... I've noticed a trend. Episode 3 has the first scene as the big climactic battle of the episode. Because Naruto had Lee versus Gaara, and episode 3 of Digimon has the Megas versus Venom Digimon.
Yeah.
Which isn't a spoiler if you know the original.
Awesome. What is your favourite line?
Of mine, or...
It just says favourite line.
Sex Makes Babies.
I'm going to hang on to credit for that one forever.
Yeah. We needed an extra scene in to bridge through different scenes. So I called...
So I think we cut the original scene that was going to be there, because it was like 2.5 minutes.
There was... In the script, there's no scene in between.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really jarring.
I'm thinking of something else there.
Yeah,
we had a couple of scenes that had been cut that were like 2 minutes long. It's like, cool, this episode is 45 minutes. We need to cut it down.
Itachi Shinden, and I'll talk about this later, has nearly 10 minutes of deleted scenes.
We're going to have to release deleted scene stuff eventually.
Yeah, I've started making sure they're held on to.
Nice.
Yeah, the Sex Makes Baby scene, I just called you and I said, we need this scene, this is what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And then you just turn around and say Sex Makes Babies. And it just stuck. That's probably my favourite line. I think that's a lot of people's favourite lines.
It's not mine. Even though it's my line,
yeah.
It's not mine.
Yeah. It's actually Impolite Buy's line. I really love the foolish little brother, if you wish to kill me, hate me, detest me, that line.
Yep.
because for the longest time that's how I got into character as Itachi.
Yep.
The Forest of what?
That's more of a joke, though.
Yeah, but I just love Pythonics.
Well, that's the next question. It says favourite joke. It's not listed as a question, but it says favourite joke. So you want to combine the two questions into one question?
No.
Fine.
Excuse me, because I actually I have something for favourite joke. Oh, I have a couple of things for favourite joke. But yeah,
I've actually now realised what my favourite line is, and I've changed it from line to you.
This is my thinking face, by the way, trying to figure out my favourite line. In terms of Naruto, I love every single line of Joe's and Mimi's. Especially, alright, everyone get your dicks out. Okay! I don't even know where that came from. I think
it was an ad-lib thing. It was 100% ad-lib thing.
And it was so fucking funny.
Yeah.
Shelmon.
Yeah, I'm helping.
Like, everything. Like,
That was another one of those things. I was like, he's a throwaway character. Let's just do a dumb voice.
Yeah.
Which is the same thing I did with Genma and Hayate.
Yeah. We're actually driving back from getting McDonald's when we're flying around like, ah!
They only have the same voice because they're basically the same character.
Yeah.
There's no point in replacing them.
Exactly. And it worked really well.
Hmm.
Gaara's solo, though, Boulevard of Broken Dreams, is that what the song was?
Yep.
Yeah. I followed up with the Docile appearance.
Yep.
Execute Order 66. It's really hard for me to talk about Naruto, Digimon, because...
A lot of the good stuff is in 3-4-5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least the stuff that I haven't seen a billion times already. Even though I've spent the last month working on those episodes and doing nothing but.
Yes.
All the stuff in Shinden that I can't talk about yet. Including Sasuke's true name. He was not born Sasuke Uchiha.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Right, what is your least favourite character to play? And why?
Danzo. And Metal Gurumon.
Because of the voice?
Yeah, Danzo takes a lot of oxygen and I get really lightheaded if I do too many lines of his.
Yep.
And it's just such a hard voice to be able to keep consistent as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because Danzo talks like this and I also get really headachy through here.
Okay.
When I do Danzo's voice. And Metal Gurumon just shreds my throat. It's the deepest voice I've ever done. And you've heard it.
Yeah.
It is...
Down there.
Yeah, it sounds like my balls finally dropped. And then by extension, I guess,
it's been 84 years.
And then by extension, I guess Omnimon falls into that as well.
Yeah.
I love playing Omnimon, but because of the Metal Gurumon stuff, it's just very painful.
Fair.
So if you ever see me at a con, never doing Metal Gurumon for you. Ever. I would do almost any other voice except Metal Gurumon.
I'm the same way with Machine Dramon and Juro.
Yes.
I hate those two characters.
But the voices are so good. So...
I hate them. I'm glad they're not going to be in the series ever again.
Machine Dramon is. Jurobo is.
Jurobo's not talking. I've decided.
Okay. What do you think, Jurobo? Wait, don't answer that.
He's going to be the Shino of Shippuden.
Man, I can't wait for Shino's next appearance.
Is there a character you wish you had been
Agumon.
cast as instead? You lost that because I'm better at it.
Yes.
And then you changed your Agumon voice.
Which is not being intentional.
Yeah.
So my Agumon voice was originally quite different, but now because I've been exposed to your Agumon voice so much, mine now sounds like an imitation of yours rather than an imitation of Tom Thumb.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird to look at. I was originally cast as Agumon, and then this son of a bitch did voice better.
Yeah.
And I actually found the video where we announced it to the rest of the cast that you were taking over Agumon. So I downloaded it, put it into Premiere Pro to include it in your interview, and the vision was at the correct pace, but the audio was slowed down by like 400%.
Oh, yeah, it's, was that on an iPhone?
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
iPhones have that weird thing sometimes where the audio and video don't quite sync up.
Yeah, and it was really bad. I really wanted to use this because it gave so much context, but my Agumon voice is this. Agumon Digivolve to Greymon!
Greymon, yeah! I'm Greymon!
That's probably the biggest one. I did make a very early push for Shikamaru, and then you said you're walking if you don't get Shika, so I gave that up pretty quick.
Shika and Kakashi were the two that I was, taking.
Yeah. There was more of a discussion with Shikamaru.
I don't think there was.
Yeah, I said that I wanted to play him and said, no, I'm playing him. I'm like, okay.
And Kakashi was just up for grabs anyway.
Yeah. And you did him infinitely better than I ever could.
Good.
And then my Shikamaru voice ended up becoming Deidara's voice. If you can somehow imagine that, like that's how that's worked out.
Yeah, it's a weird voice to make for that.
But it works, trust me.
Odd. What kind of techniques do you implement to ready yourself for a role? So is there any vocal tics that you use? Because I know I use a lot.
So do you mean like in terms of ins or?
I like ins. So like with my Leomon, it's like, I am Leomon, son of Odinmon.
There's not many. There's so many of them I've been able to just get used to doing because I practice them all the time.
Yeah, but I think you and I are in the same boat with that, where we weaned ourselves off needing to use the ins.
But if I was to go back, like,
I know you mentioned the Itachi one before.
Yeah, foolish little brother. If you wish, I don't know if this is going to be picked up. It's quite a quiet voice, but if you wish to kill me, hate me, detest me, that one. And then Sasuke, I just curse out Sakura or Naruto. I say, Sakura, like that kind of thing. Or I'm going to kill my brother. Orochimaru, for the longest time, his in was Little Sasuke. I recorded Gaara's first lines for Shipping in the other day, and I forgot how to do the voice. So I guess in that regard, I ended up doing a raspy Danzo for Gaara. Yeah, it was bad. So I opened up episode 9, which is Gaara's most recent appearance. Wink, wink. And at least the last time I did the voice right. And I listened, I'm like, okay, that's all right. So I had to re-record all of Gaara's lines again. Which got my voice.
I was going to say with the voice that shreds.
Yeah. I mean, I've gotten used to doing Gaara's voice by now, but yeah. I used to have, I guess Kamala Khan still has an in that sometimes I have to say, oh no, TK, Patamon, did you evolve too? And Beamon I'm still working on, but it's very much a Danish! Oh no, Danish!
I think most of my Digimon ones, I just have to say their name.
Yeah, Digimon's really weird like
except for Agumon, where it's like, hi!
You're a friendly little guy.
Just anything that ends in I. Tie, hi, bye, die.
I need an adult.
I am an adult.
Ah! Sorry, I'm late to my tacos. Yeah, Digimon's really weird like that in terms of it, because the voices are so in anyway.
Yeah, because I know with all of Zero too, my ins are Armadillomon and Hawkmon and Stingmon.
Whereas, like, for me and Wormmon, it's like, yes, Master Ken, I'm so sorry. And then even Davis is, Digiarmor Energize! Come on, Ken!
Cody, I think, for me, is, I'm Cody.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm Cody. And
we're still a long way off beginning to record Zero Two.
Oh, yeah, we haven't even started writing it, I don't think.
I'll start writing it soon, but I have to start writing it soon because due to actor availability.
Yeah.
Which I'm not at liberty to talk about.
Out of the what? That seems like a weird one.
Out of the
two of you, who takes on the most roles?
Oh, so this was a submission from one of our Patreon supporters.
Oh, okay. Was that directed at us?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
It's patreon.com/Journeyman Abridged.
So the question is, out of the two of you, who takes on the most roles and who would prefer to take the excess work?
So I'm not too sure what they're talking about in terms of roles. I'm going to guess they mean voice roles.
I would assume so.
In which case, you voice more characters than I do.
Yes. Depends on the series, though. I voice more in Naruto overall. You voice way more than me in Digimon.
You have more credits than me in Digimon.
Really?
By about 10. We've still both got over 100, but you've voiced about 10 more characters than me in Digimon.
I guess I'm thinking I have less lines, though.
Yeah.
Because I voice a lot of one-off characters.
Yeah.
And also once we cut.
Yeah, like Miramon.
Miramon, yes.
And that's also taken into account casting way down.
True. Because, yeah, that's including all the stuff at the end of episode 5.
Even other Digimon universes.
Oh, really?
That's including everything.
Okay, so if we go down the path of doing the latest series, then, yeah, okay, I know what I'm doing. If if
If.
we do tame it, I know who I've got for that.
Yeah. You incidentally announced it on your interview.
Did I?
Yep. Kind of. You did the voice, and I said, was that the voice? And you're like, shut up.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got that.
Yep.
If we were to do Frontier, I know who I would voice. It was one of those things where we had the joking conversation of if we do Frontier, and I said, cool, I'm voicing this character.
Yeah.
Purely because Frontier's the one where they turn into the Digimon. And it's purely because of the Digimon they turn into.
Yeah.
Because I just love that one. It's like, with that.
Whereas should we do Frontier, I'm playing Koji and Koichi, because look at them. They look like Sasuke and Itachi. Like, it makes sense. So,
yeah. Whereas, and if we were to go all the way to Sabers, I know I would be voicing one thing in that.
And same with me. But that's all I know.
Yeah. Because we haven't, I haven't watched Sabers since it came out.
I've never watched Sabers.
I watch Sabers week to week.
I'll never forgive Marcus being able to, I'm sure there's a plot reason, but Marcus being able to punch a Digimon to win is just dumb.
Well, it's not to win, it's to get the energy he needs to make his Digimon Digivolve.
So he's just attacking for fractal code.
Basically. So he can't generate it himself. So he has to connect with a Digimon in order to generate the fractal code. I'm pretty sure. Well, it actually makes more sense than someone actually being able to generate it themselves.
Yeah, but...
So, like, the other two Digimon... I'm probably remembering wrong. You correct me in the comments if I am. But, yeah, it's... The other two can generate fractal code on their own.
Okay.
He can't. So he has the capacity to use fractal code, but he can't generate it. So he has to punch a Digimon in order to basically steal some of their fractal code to use it.
So Agumon can Digivolve.
Yes. Which, of the three of them, it makes the most sense. Whereas the other two are just able to generate fractal code. It's like that, how do you generate it?
Yeah, that's dumb.
Like, if they both use a device, and then he just punches Digimon, and that's how he gets it, fine.
Okay.
That would work, but I don't know. Like,
again, I've never watched Sabers, so if I'm completely misunderstanding...
I ended up stopping watching Sabers.
Okay.
I can't remember why, but I got up to their ultimates.
Okay.
And then I think
so
I just...
Rise Greymon.
Yeah. I think I just got...
Greymon, Rise Greymon. Yeah, I think that's right,
yeah. I think I got up to their ultimates, or the intros just changed to include the ultimates.
Okay, yep.
And then for whatever reason I dropped it. I cannot remember why.
Okay.
But yeah, and then Fusion or whatever it is.
Frost Wars and Fusion, and they didn't get dubbed.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Oh no, hang on. I think
Frost Wars. No, Fusion did.
Yeah, one of them did and the other one didn't.
Fusion killed the franchise.
Yeah. And then they started relying on adventure nostalgia with Try, and then Kizuna, and then the upcoming Zero 2 film, and the 2020 reboot, which I have not much to say about. And now Ghost Game, which I've only seen the first episode, but it's fucking amazing. So I'm really looking forward to actually getting into that properly.
So, to continue on with the question, when it's kind of one of those things where we know, like, because we've discussed it at length, we know who we want to voice. And we'll kind of set aside a character that we want to voice. Or like me, I'll just turn around and say, cool, I'm voicing all this. So I'm an idiot. So I'm voicing the Dark Masters, and I'm voicing friggin' the Sound 5.
And
I'm an idiot.
You picked up another role last night.
Yes, so I'm doing another set.
Which we won't talk about today.
Yes. So yeah, we do stuff like that, which doesn't mean that we just turn around and say, well, mine, I'm taking it. It's if someone else comes forward with a good voice, then we'll do that. And
we do have an audition process.
Yes.
We do, for example, put out a casting call where we need to cast Minato Namikaze and Kushina Uzumaki, as an example.
Yes.
And people say, yeah, cool, I'm interested. I'm like, cool, email me your auditions, I'll send them to you, I'll send the implied file, we play around, okay, cool, so this works with this, how does this work with this, how does this compare with other characters that they voice, and then we get to the final product.
Yes.
So, we have a really, really in-depth process that we don't really talk about too much. But yeah, we don't just slap shit together and hope for the best.
And then some stuff it will be a case of no one wants it,
Yeah.
Or like just no one puts their hand up, so then we just go,
Fuck it, we'll do it.
who can do the better one of the two of us?
Yeah.
And just that's how it happens. And there's just stupid stuff we choose as well.
Yeah.
Where I think we were just having a random discussion about Tonton. And then, and then I just did the Lopez voice, I'm like, whatever. And it's like, okay, we're running with that.
Yeah, and it's really funny because it's so unexpected.
I think that's how I got cast as Shizune as well, because I'm just like, I just did the girl voice. That's like, alright, that's funny. And she's barely in the series.
Yeah.
And now I have a whole lot of lines to record for her.
Not many.
It's a lot. For a character that's never in the series after her introduction.
I don't think there's many ones.
For a character that's basically not used at all. Like realistically, after that first arc, after the Search for Tsunade arc, Shizune drops into the background so hard.
Yeah.
Like she just plummets, and it's like she's in the series less than 10 10 at that point.
Tonton has more screen time than 10.
Yes. But like that's how bad Shizune goes in the background.
Yeah.
I still have that many lines. Like I've got like 5 lines per episode, like 3 episodes in a row.
Yeah, which is weird. Yeah, good point. That is weird.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Right? I had this conversation with you last time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so a lot of the casting does go to audition, but based on certain voices as well, we will hear something and say, okay, this person's voicing that character.
Because they can do this type of voice, so if they change it, they'll be able to do this kind of voice.
Yeah, we also go with decisions that were also made for the sub or dub.
Yeah.
So with Zabuza and his predecessor, Jizo, they're voiced by the same person.
Omega. And Steve Blum.
Yeah, so they're voiced by Steve Bloom in the dub, it's voiced by Omega in both, because it is literally the exact same voice for both of them, so it's like, let's just lean into that.
Yeah.
And that's how some decisions are made. And that's how I also steal roles as well.
Yeah.
It's like, cool, I'm just going to do my Steve Bloom voice on these characters.
Yeah.
So I'm just taking characters voiced by Steve Bloom that aren't already cast.
Yeah. You stole Raydramon and Flamedramon for me for that exact reason.
Yeah. I got Miramon as well.
Yeah, but then I took Holzimon and Shurimon from you in reverse.
Yes.
But you still have Aquilomon.
Yes. Yeah. Because I can do a really good Aquilomon.
Yes.
I do not want to do it much.
Thankfully, Aquilomon has fuck all lines.
Sylphimon does, though. Sylphimon is used a lot towards the end, so I'm going to have to do the Aquilomon voice for that.
Doesn't mean Sylphimon has to be used or what?
We'll see. But otherwise, I've got my Texan accent with the Armadillomon line.
Yep.
That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
That's going to be a pain in the ass. Because it's all about timing.
The DNAs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's... With Omnimon, it's a little bit different because it's just one actor.
Yeah.
But when we do the DNAs, I think we might just have to coordinate and get people in the studio at the same time and just go.
I'm just trying to think who I voice with, because
Me
It's
and
me.
Black.
I mean all 3 fusions. Oh wait, yeah, I have, yeah, okay, all 3, yeah, because you're Undermon.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean 2 with you and 1 with Implied. Okay, cool.
Yep.
That makes it so easy.
Yeah, so just be a case of
I
course.
was for whatever reason I thought that Shy Ghost was one of them. She's not.
I'm trying to think if she actually plays any Digimon in Zero 2. Aside from the Palmon line when they show up.
I don't think she does.
Not currently, no.
No, I don't think she does. But is she going to be doing Yoli? Or are we not deciding on Yoli yet?
No, Yoli's been cast. Yoli will be played by Shadow Galactica.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. I forgot about that. I forget most of our casting decisions. I can't remember who's who half the time. Because I don't know everyone.
Yeah. I have trouble keeping it straight in my head myself.
Because you're the connecting point for everyone.
Yep. If you can imagine, like, it's me, and then it's like...
Well, it's like a spider web that comes out from, like, you as that central point. Where there's a few of us that are connected in one way or another.
Like you and True Point Bar.
Right?
Fucking weirdest thing.
Yeah, he and I used to work together.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just a small world with that.
Yeah.
And then, like, Shy Ghost and Pythonics and all that sort of stuff. And you and Imply. And also, like, I used to work with both of you.
Yeah.
Back when Imply used to work with us.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's, like, random connecting points.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's interesting.
It is.
So, yes, casting decisions are weird.
Yeah. we don't just say, you're going to be Sasuke, you're going to be Naruto, you're going to be Sakura.
Some people really do put their hands up for also.
Yeah.
And it's not just us.
Yeah. Like, I'm trying to think of a good example. Rising Avenged and Jorah.
Yeah. And then sometimes we make the casting decision for other people and tell them they're voicing someone.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, yeah, cool. You voice this character, so you can voice this character.
Yeah, it just works out. Or because this person voices this character, you can then voice this character.
Yeah.
That's how...
yeah, we've done sibling things and partner things before.
Yeah. That's why in Polite By Night I play Minato and Kushina, for example.
Yeah.
And then, I think I've touched on this before, when in Polite By Night I met Pythonix and Shy Ghost, Pythonix was cosplaying as Naruto Uzumaki. So it just added more... Yeah.
Layers upon layers upon layers.
And I don't think I've ever told you this, but before we had the idea that young Kakashi could just have the same voice as adult Kakashi, I toyed with the idea briefly of casting Shy Ghost as young Kakashi. Because when I met Shy Ghost, she was cosplaying as Kakashi.
Right. Okay.
When she was like, Nihado Aggression!
I don't think I've actually cosplayed a Naruto character. Back when I used to cosplay. I was going to do a Minato cosplay, and I was going to do a Hidan cosplay.
Yours Hidan would be amazing.
Hidan has always been my favourite Akatsuki member.
I'm going to cast you as Hidan. Oh, wait.
Already had that one. But yeah, no, I remember back when I used to cosplay, back in the old days, when I would do things like Sanji and Hisage Shuei from Bleach, and stuff like that. I actually toyed with doing a Minato and a Hidan cosplay. Back when Naruto was the cool thing to do.
The cool thing.
And back before I started doing cosplays of stuff that people hadn't heard of. I cosplayed as a Ryoga Hibiki from Rumble One Half. I also went as Big Cloud in his casual attire and not his battle attire. No one recognised me. It was annoying.
It's possible people just thought you were just wearing a cloud wig.
I wasn't even wearing a wig. Oh. I used to grow my hair out cosplays.
Oh, nice.
So I ended up with my saying, like the hair that I had in my interview.
Yeah, the last interview.
My interview, which was the last one, that length was the longest I've ever had my hair. Slightly shorter than that was what I did for my Sanji cosplay.
Yep.
And my Sayuki cosplay when I played Sanzo.
Yep.
Which was probably my favourite cosplay I've ever done. It was very, very intricate. Like I had like a full like skin tight black piece on and stuff. And like the full like robes and stuff like that. Yep. So like dropping the one shoulder, sort of like having the armor.
Kind of like what Itachi does?
Yeah, kind of like that sort of idea. And then just being able to drop the whole thing off both shoulders.
That's cool.
So then just like very skin tight black number and stuff like that. So I had fun with that. That was back when I actually put a lot of effort into that sort of shit. Now if I cosplay, I'd probably cosplay as like Bakugo.
I got called out hardcore on Twitter by Christina V. Very talented voice actor. But she posted something...
We interviewed her.
You did?
Yeah, I think 2 Point did that though.
Okay, yeah. I know 2 Point interviewed Marley Flanagan and...
The height difference?
Yeah. 2 Point Bo's about my height.
He's a bit shorter.
If not a little bit shorter, thank you. And he towered over Marley Flanagan.
It would have been horrible. Like, that was a Supernova Sydney back in like... I want to say like 2016 or 2015 or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
It was a long time ago. I'm trying to remember when... 2017 was the first RTX Sydney, which I know is a weird date for me to pull out.
It is.
But that was back when Rooster Teeth personalities would come to Australian cons, whereas now they only came when they were doing RTX, and now it's back to just normal because we're not doing RTX in Australia anymore.
Yep.
Fair enough. It's bloody expensive. There's a lot of people to bring over. But yeah, so it was before that, so it had to be at least 2016, if not earlier, that happened. So yeah, and Christina B and that were, I think, that same year or the previous year.
Okay.
Yeah.
She posted something on Twitter the other day and said, the year is 2007. Your favorite anime character is Haruhi Suzumiya. You're at a convention. Your favorite anime character is Haruhi Suzumiya. And some dude is blaring Caramel Dancing from a boombox. And I'm like, my people. These are my people.
I never actually watched Haruhi.
It's good.
I learned the dance.
Oh yeah. I can still remember most of the Haruhi.
No.
Says no, starts doing it. Yeah, right.
Yeah, not happening. Not happening. We get to 100 patrons, we'll do it.
Yep.
Done.
Invite us to a con, we'll do it there.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm doing it for money only. Alright, so yours is like, funny enough, we're in the acting challenge questions section.
Oh, God.
Which is actually the last section. So yours is actually a lot different, but what does a typical recording session look like for you? How do you prepare? Because you're the only person who records solo.
Yes. I do this in a way that if certain people watch this, I'll get in trouble. And I don't mean my wife. I will generally speaking, I will look at what needs to be done. Like everyone does.
You go out the window and then do what you want to do.
Yeah. And then while I'm working my day job, I'll have the mic set up next to me, and I will, while I'm working on my day job, I will also record at the same time. So I'll say, for example, do something to do with my day job, and I'll come over and I'll say, as Sasuke, Itachi, for example, foolish little brother, blah, 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 blah. Do a couple of takes, go back to what I was doing, blah, 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 blah. The other day, was it last week, the week before? I can't remember if it was before I last saw you or not. NPC was talking about a whole bunch of lines he has to do. And he said 2 hours won't be enough to do that. So I said, challenge accepted.
God, okay.
So I recorded 143 lines in less than an hour and a half.
That's insane.
My voice hurt afterwards.
I can't imagine why.
And that was the session with Gara.
Yeah.
So it was 143 plus doing all of Gara twice.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And that was just me being a complete fucking smartass. But if I don't do it during the day, I'll set aside time and say, look, in Flight Bar, I'm going to be recording tonight. Blah, blah, blah. And I'll just sit there and I'll just do it. Like, it's not a great story. It's actually, I just sit down and I do it.
Fair enough. And then have to re-record because you didn't actually listen to the character beforehand and then have to redo the entire thing because you've done that. Or you record two characters that have to converse with each other, realise they sound too similar, and then have to re-record. Because that hasn't happened twice now.
I think. Or I'll record and then it'll come to the time to edit. I'm like, not happy with that delivery. Not happy with that either. Fuck, and I'm just going to re-record.
Because I remember you had to re-record Sasuke, and I called you on this. Because your Sasuke sounded too old.
Yeah.
Or too deep.
And I did re-record him.
Yes, you did. I'm not saying you didn't.
Yeah, I ended up doing his Shippuden voice for like half of part one.
Yeah.
Which is not
way too deep.
Yeah. Like, Sasuke's voice now is just this.
Yeah.
Which is really easy because now he just sounds like me bored. But Sasuke and Deidara, if I may indulge, Deidara's voice is something like, don't be impatient, and so you can hear how similar they are. So I wonder how we're going to handle Sasuke versus Deidara.
I wonder. That will be an absolute pain.
Have you read that far in the script yet?
I know what we're doing.
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome. How many recording sessions do you generally go through for an episode?
One.
Brag about it.
But then again, I just sit there and because I know my limits and I'm not afraid to push myself.
Yeah.
Because my day job at work, I don't have to talk. So it doesn't matter if I blow out my voice. Like, obviously, I'm not saying blow out your voice. Like, it's just don't damage your vocal cords. You need those to talk.
Don't socialise. It's fine.
Yeah, so I'll sometimes I'll do like 2 or 3 episodes in one session. So I'll smash out like all of Sasuke for an episode, all of Gara, all of Orochimaru. Like, I've recorded all of Gara, which doesn't sound like what if you know the original story, but it is a lot if you know how we're handling things. I've recorded all of Gara for up until before he returns in the Kage Summit.
Nice.
Twice!
Because you recorded it wrong.
And I've recorded all of Danzo up until the Invasion of Pain, for example.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll do like every like I'll look at the character and say, okay, cool. So I've got all this Gabumon stuff to record. So I'll just record it, do a session of Gabumon, and it's just he's done.
Yeah.
So it's either 1 or 100. There is no in between.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
Interesting way to do things.
I don't recommend doing it my way. My way is really stupid.
Do you have a dream role, which doesn't have to be voice acting or even abridging?
Agumon. No, jokes aside, I'm really, really happy with your Agumon. I think...
Did you ask me this question?
No, because I pivoted and asked a different question.
Okay.
Still about acting challenges.
I actually know what I'd do now.
Oh yeah? What would you do?
So, you probably aren't aware of this. They've announced the live action actors for One Piece.
Yes.
I want to be Yonji.
Yeah!
Because I've seen who the Sanji actor is. I'm like, you know what? I could pull up his brother.
Yeah.
And Yonji is the only member of the 3 that I would want to play. So when you guys get up to Whole Cake, Whole Cake. Yeah. When you get up there, Yonji, I will dye my hair green. I don't care.
He'll do it.
I will do it. Yonji would be fine. Just saying.
Didn't you cosplay as Zoro once?
I've done Zoro and Sanji and Luffy.
And you...
So I've done Monster Trio.
Yeah, and you dyed your hair for Zoro. I think I've seen a picture of your Zoro on Facebook.
Yes, I did my hair green for Zoro. I've done my hair black for Luffy.
Yep.
And I kept my hair blonde for Sanji.
No, I can't imagine why you'd have to keep your hair blonde.
Right. Yeah. But then drawing on the curly brow and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Netflix.
Oda.
Netflix Oda, when you guys get up to that stage, I will whip off the glasses. I don't mind. But, Yonji, I'm your man. I'll even shave the beard for that. Yeah.
That's a serious promise. I don't think I've ever seen you play.
Or Sabo.
Yeah, I could see that.
Or Sabo. Yonji or Sabo. One of those two I'm happy with.
I don't think I've ever seen you ever, like, in person, completely clean shaven.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal.
Yeah. So I'll take Sabo and Yonji. Or if you do anything else. I'll probably do Kaku or something like that as well.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. That's alright. Swords. Be a giraffe.
I mean...
Don't get on that.
Sorry, I never asked you a question.
You actually didn't answer
like...
seen all that.
Yeah, you did. Like, I really love your Agumon, so I don't want to, like... I used to be really bitter about it. Not actively bitter, but like, man, fuck. I wanted to play Agumon. I had an Agumon. I recorded all of Agumon. Now all this recordings say, for example, Digimon Episode 1, Agumon TwstdFlaems. And I was like, I've got to make sure the right one is important.
Because that's going to be stupid.
Mm-hmm. And then, I'd love to play the Doctor. I've always wanted to play the Doctor. Doctor Who, obviously. Shadow the Hedgehog. I adore Shadow, and I would love to play him.
How edgy of you?
Edge on this.
No, thank you.
Yeah, that sounds better in my head. Like, I've played Shadow before, but I want to, like, in a professional sense, I'd love to play him.
That's fair.
My Shadow voice when I played before sounded like this. This was my Shadow voice, which obviously doesn't work. But it'll be more like, Maria! That sort of thing.
Nice, nice. What are the behind-the-scenes processes?
What, with writing, or...?
You gave me the questions. What are the behind-the-scenes processes? That's the question. Go through everything. I don't care. You gave me these questions. I'm asking the questions as they are written. That is what you're getting. Like, this is what you sent me. That right there. Copyright didn't mean to. That right there is the question. What are the behind-the-scenes processes?
Yeah,
that's all it says.
Yeah.
You didn't expand on that. That's your problem.
Yeah, it is.
That's the question. That's how it's worded. That's how you're getting it. That's how you're going to answer it. Go on.
I'll look at it twofold. So, in terms of writing, because we spoke about casting.
Yes.
Writing is a completely different beast to what it used to be with the Bridge series creation.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I can't speak for how you used to write with One Piece and Zoids. But when in the back in the days of the FMAB, it would be a case of I'd open up Notepad. On PC, open up Notepad, I'd be like, in capital letters, Edward, colon, Edward's line. Enter, enter. Winry, colon, Winry's line. And we just had to try and guess what the hell shit was going on with no context, aside from maybe if I remember the context from writing the episode.
Yeah.
So I threw that out. I just piss off. Now we make sure to include action text and context clues and stuff like that. And we write to the manga now, generally speaking, with Naruto at least, because obviously we can't with Digimon. With Naruto, we write to the manga. Hell, that conversation that we had at work about if we do this, I'm Kakashi and Shikamaru.
Mm-hmm.
I went home that night. Driving home, I conceptualized the opening of episode 1, and then I wrote episode 1 that night of Naruto. And it just hit me. I go. And that was just purely based to the manga. So I'll have the manga on one side, have the software on another, and I'll just go through. I'll read the arc, for example. I did a massive reread of Naruto back when we were beginning to write.
Yeah.
And I just took notes about like, joke ideas, character directions, stuff like that. Or how, like, notes about remember to handle this like this, and stuff like that. And then I'll have that, I'll have the manga, and I'll have scripting software. And I'll also have the associated wiki page for that arc. Wiki pages for any characters that need to be introduced in that arc. And I suppose you probably weren't aware that I went into this much detail. And I'll have the anime open as well, just in case.
Yeah.
And I'll just go through and I'll compare, okay, cool, so I've had this idea for this character, so I'll write that down. And cross-reference, and this is why writing sometimes is fucking forever, because I'm cross-referencing so much, or I'll look something up and say, okay, cool, so how does this relate to this, but how can we loop this in so it actually seeds this better, so it doesn't seem like an ass-pull later, Kishimoto. And I can blame Oda for that.
Yes, you've gotten so used to One Piece that you're realizing what it looks like when you don't ask for something. You don't have one of your main characters nearly die 7 times and you have to write around them dying. Sasuke.
Yep.
Sasuke. Seriously. Like, there's a guy I watch on TikTok.
Yep.
And he's pointed out that there are like 8 or 9 situations where Sasuke should have died.
Sasuke got stabbed through the heart, his chest was exploded,
He was caught in dust release.
Yep.
C0.
Yep.
With no chakra left and having burnt out everything on Chidori's and stuff like that.
Yep.
So manages to summon Manda, puts him under a genjutsu and gets in his mouth.
And then gets, yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Unless Manda was like summoned from above and just went, no.
Yeah.
But even then.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sasuke should have died.
Yeah, Sasuke.
Or don't write your characters into a situation where they're that close to death.
Yeah.
Like, the way you should write a scene is how are they going to win?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you write the ending first.
Yeah.
Then go back and write how it gets to that point.
Yeah.
So you already know how it's going to conclude. Don't start, this is for everyone, don't start writing a fight scene and then work out where you're going to go from there.
Yeah.
Know how to finish it.
Yeah. And that's what we had with Lee vs. Scarl. The Megas versus Venomotismon. I keep nearly saying Melomotismon. Wrong series. Venomotismon. Choji versus Jirobo.
Mm-hmm.
We seeded that back in the Forest of Death.
Yep.
Naruto versus Sasuke was a little bit different. But generally speaking, there'll be a really clear image. Okay, this is how the fight ends. This is how we want to have the fight end. How do we get from A to B, and what are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in between?
Yep.
And that's a big part of the process. I actually had that with writing, with writing B versus Sasuke recently, which was the most recent script we wrote.
Which, pointing out, we just finished Naruto and we're already up to B versus Sasuke.
Yeah.
So, taking over here, but the way that writing occurs is not episode to episode, because I know there are people who do episode to episode.
Mm-hmm.
So they write the episode, then do everything they need to do for that episode, release that episode, start work on the next episode.
Yep.
So they only focus on that one episode and then work out what they're going to do from there. We already have up to Sasuke versus B. Because then it means if we think of something really good at that point in time, we can retroactively add it to something else we're working on. Like, basically, by the time Shippuden actually releases, we'll have finished scripting Shippuden. We'll be close to it. By the time Shippuden releases.
October. Ooh, maybe, actually, yeah.
Well, if we're up to Sasuke versus B, what's left?
I was going to take a break after the Invasion of Pain. Right, to retro.
Okay, so Invasion of Pain. So, Invasion of Pain, after the Invasion of Pain, I can't even remember. It's been that long.
After the Invasion of Pain, it then goes to the Kage Summit.
Which we have written.
No.
Haven't we?
Nope.
I thought we'd written. We've got ideas.
We've got ideas.
Yeah.
I blame Wano for that. Paradise Life on a Boat and the Island Training.
Yeah.
Which ties into preparation for war. Then there's the war with the Edo Tenseis. War with...
It's just the war.
The war. And then there's the war, which we're breaking up.
Which was too long for what it was.
Yeah, it was. It was much
way too many one-on-one fights. Like
Yes.
all war with one-on-one fights. There's another rule.
Read One Piece, Kishi.
Marine Fit. Perfect way to do a war.
Yeah.
Also, perfect from another angle as well. It's the whole thing where you know everything about the bad guys going in, the enemy.
Yeah.
We're going into the war of One Piece. I want to do a video on this, actually. Going into the war of Marine Fit, the people you're rooting for are the people you don't know anything about.
Yeah.
Which makes it more compelling. So you already know how strong Aokiji is. You already know how strong Kizaru is. Which means you already have an idea of how strong Akainu is.
So you have to... So you know... This is the odds they're up against.
Yes.
What are they going to bring? How are they going to possibly overcome these odds?
Correct. So then you have Marco and Whitebeard and Jozu and all that, and Vista and all that sort of stuff coming in. And you know how powerful the people that are up against are. And then it's like them revealing all their abilities as opposed to meeting new, and it's honestly, it's very hard to write. Nova's a fucking genius for doing it that way.
Yes.
To have all these characters that you know are the enemy be the ones you already know the abilities for.
Yeah.
And they're already insurmountable enemy for the Straw Hats to fight. And then to have people go toe-to-toe with them. Whereas, like, meeting new characters, like meeting the second Raikage.
Yeah.
And having this one scar on his chest. Like, we don't know anything about this dude. It's...
Yeah. He did it to himself because he fell on himself.
Yeah.
I fell on my keys.
Yeah, which is that's funny,
but...
Anyway.
Another reason we write so far in advance as well is to give people time off. And I'm a really, really big proponent of this. Present company excluded, as well as implied by. But generally speaking, people do like record like 4 or 5 episodes, and then they'll have 6 months to a year off.
Yeah.
So they don't have to record, and it helps them recuperate, it avoids burnout, and it helps keep everyone fresh. And so that way when they do come back into the studio, they're like, cool, let's go. I haven't played Eno for a while, or I haven't played, whoever. But then again, because of the amount of characters you and I play, that doesn't really apply to us.
Yeah, but even then, we're recording. We've recorded twice this month. Because we recorded like 2 weeks ago.
And we're recording today.
But that's not normal, and that's only because of lock-ins and stuff like that that's happening.
Yeah.
Realistically, these 2 recording sessions should have been 6 months ago, and then this wouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
And this session wouldn't be happening because we'd already be way past where we're at right now.
Yeah.
And that's just been the way things work. But it also meant that with COVID and stuff like that, we didn't have to stop.
Yeah.
We just, because originally we were just going to do every month, we're going to do a episode release. But because of COVID, we had to slow that down. So realistically, we should already be in Shippuden.
We should be in 02
Yeah.
by now. The plan was, and I'll come back to what you're saying about...
Gotcha timelines.
Yes. But also tied into that. The original plan for Part 1 was to record, or to release all of Part 1 last year and Digimon last year. It's the end of 2 years ago by the time it's released, but it's November 2021 currently. So 2020 was supposed to see episodes 1 through 9, is what it became, of Naruto, plus episode 0, plus episodes 1 to 5 of Digimon.
Which wouldn't have fit in here, but...
Like, that was the general timeline. And then Shippuden episode 1 would release or episode 0, I suppose, would release on the 10th of January on the 1-year anniversary of episode 1. And we're going to have this really, really tightly run ship, and then the pandemic fucked us.
Yeah, but it also has meant that, it's slowed down production, but it's also meant that we've been able to get ahead in other ways.
Yes, it has. Like, episode 0 started editing in earnest yesterday, I want to say. Like, there was a little bit here and there done, like, all the Pythonics and scenes were already edited for that episode, for example.
Yeah.
Which is, to your point, episode 0 releases currently next October, or October 2022. Pythonics recorded for this at the start of 2021.
Well, you sent me a screenshot the other day of something that Shy Ghost had recorded. And I recorded my pickups for that episode 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
She recorded that dialogue in 2019.
Yeah.
In like March of 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So it had been over 2 years since she'd recorded that dialogue.
Exactly. You recorded every, so to break kayfabe, as it were, episodes 1 through 9 and plus episode 0 are actually scripts 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and. You recorded every single Kakashi line for part 1 in one hit.
Yeah.
One night. And it was the night we went to see Dark Phoenix.
So July...
It was the 6th of June 2019.
Yeah. So that's how... And have we even finished releasing all that? We
Yep.
have now, yeah.
Yep. Episode 9 released in June or July.
So...
2 years.
2 years. 2 years between me recording those lines to when the final release came out.
Yeah. So we weren't just sitting on our laurels for 2 years. Constantly working, constantly writing, recording, tightening.
It basically, well, by not having to record all the time, it means you have more time to edit.
Yeah.
So you can smash out a recording session, get, 3 episodes worth of dialogue out of people. You can get the first cut done.
Yeah.
Then we go for pickups.
Yeah.
And pickups happen over, we'll have basically record, then probably 6 months later do pickups.
Yeah.
And then you're done.
Yeah.
And it'll be pickups for 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah, at once. And
and then dialogue for later stuff as well.
Yeah, we run a really tight ship. So whilst it looks like we haven't released anything for 6 months, by the time episode 3 of Digimon releases in February, hopefully.
Well, all I'm recording today is pickups.
Yeah. Might get to do a couple of things, but that's beside the point.
But it's 90% pickups.
Yeah, exactly. And it's all for episode 4 of Digimon. Which is a very heavy TwstdFlaems episode. Last time I was here, we recorded episode 3 and episode 5 pickups of TwstdFlaems.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm referring to in third person. Perfect example. Rock Lee's first appearance and Rock Lee's last return appearance rather. Okay. Between Lee versus Gaara and Lee versus Kimimaru was exactly 12 months, just by chance.
Yeah.
Christopher Allen recorded that the previous June. So, while we really I can't speak for anyone else, but whilst it may seem like, recordings, I'm not going to see the fruits of my labor for so long, blah, 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 it means that when it does come out, it's like, okay, cool, so you haven't been fucking around for 6 months.
Yeah.
And I talk a lot of shit about your editing team, blah, blah, blah. Realistically speaking, it's for me. It's one man. We do a cut, I send it to you, I send it to Impolite, well, I don't send it to Impolite, but she just walks into my study. But,
you send it for her.
Yes.
Just a text saying, "Wait, check this out."
Yeah. Not even. I'm not that polite.
Hey, bitch, get in here. Those are your words.
Yeah, look, that.
And bitch is being kind about it.
One time at Bandcamp.
Jesus.
Speaking of, the Tayuya in episode 7? 8. One of the completely edited improvisation. So yeah, we're working today on episodes 3, 4, 5, and 6. 3, 4, and 5 of Digimon Adventure, Shinden, episode 0 of Naruto, as well as all the One Piece opening reactions that we've recorded so far.
Yes.
Plus I got do a couple more things for your interview. Plus editing my interview. That's how many months of content we're working on at one time.
Yeah, exactly.
And actually, I think you made a good point. We will probably be working towards finishing up writing Naruto Shippuden by the time episode 0 goes out. Because that's just how time.
Because realistically, Because Digimon, like the Digimon series are not long.
No.
The first couple of 52 episodes or whatever they are.
Yeah.
And because of how formulaic Digimon is,
It's so much to cut.
Like, realistically, you know, of the original series, the first 7 episodes are, it's like you got the first episode, then second episode, Agumon Digivolves. Third episode, Garurumon. Fourth episode, Birdramon. We cut most of that.
Yeah.
Because it's the same thing for 6 episodes in a row.
Yeah. Which just is
that same thing.
boring for the audience as well. And 02 is so much more Monster of the Week than that.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
I've kind of broken up 02. Speaking of breaking up, sorry. That's what I was going back to saying earlier. With writing scripts, not only have I got all that, all those things I mentioned on my screen earlier, I also have a list of the chapters, and I break it into 3.
Yeah.
So by the end of 1/3 of the chapter, I'll have to be 10 chapters in. And then the end of the second act is about here, like 20 chapters in, or whatever it is. And that makes sure we keep it nice and concise. So we try and keep the episodes between 30 and 40 pages in length for script. And then we try and work it around that.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are some episodes, like the Dryer episode, where that won't really apply. Because the Dryer episode is only, 8 chapters of the manga, I think? But we're doing something a little bit different with the Dryer episode, which I've briefly talked to you about.
Yeah,
So I'm really, but that helps just flesh it out and make it much more interesting when Jiraiya dies.
Spoilers.
Like it. And we try to... We know that people know this series. We know that there are other content creators out there. We don't shy away from the fact that we know there are other content creators out there. We've not actively, but we have blatantly referenced both Team 4-Star, Little Karibo, and Muzco and Vegeta.
Yes.
In one way or another throughout our work.
Correct.
And other content creators as well, like Piximon.
Yeah.
My Kevin!
Yeah, from Pokemon Bridge.
Yeah. We don't want to treat our audience like they're stupid. We want to be able to give the series an in for people who don't know the series. And it's like, okay, cool, let's check this out. Someone we work with, the American fellow. We work with.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't know Naruto, didn't we?
Holy shit, yeah.
Yeah, he's a massive fan of our work. He loves it.
I thought he was American.
So do I sometimes.
Sorry, dude.
We're intentionally not doxing people.
Yeah.
We actively push, please support the original release. But if people discover these series and then go on to support the original release, sure, it happened with Yu-Gi-Oh!, it happened with TFS.
Well, that happened with me with both those series, with Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged and Dragon Ball Z Abridged.
Yeah.
I don't have them down here, but I own all the Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga and all the Dragon Ball manga because of those 2 series.
Yeah. And we don't want to treat our audience like they're stupid, which is why we include so many different Easter eggs, and we set things up. Because we know that our audience isn't stupid, and we want to reward those that pay attention as well. Like, that's why the Obito stuff was in episode 1. That said, Obito could only cameo in episode 1 because, what's his screen name? Omega recorded Obito for episode 0 while episode 1 was being edited. So that should give you a bit of an idea about how
much we do at once, yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
And that's not the shit on other content creators who do.
Everyone's got their own process, and whatever works for them
works
for them.
Absolutely. This just works for us.
Yeah, it's because a lot of us don't have or can't afford equipment.
Yeah.
And we haven't been in the position to invest our own money in stuff because everyone's situation is everyone's financial situation is different. And especially with stuff like the pandemic, everyone's been affected in different ways.
Yes.
So it just means I don't have a good mic. I've got a mic, but it makes me lispy. So I can't use that. So I have to have you come over to record in order for me to get the recording done. There's been some stuff that I have done off-site, but you can very distinctly hear the difference.
And we try and...
And then a lot of that's been re-recorded.
Yeah.
It has been cut.
Yes. Probably the biggest example of that not happening was Ninja Clash in the Land of Snow. You recorded that completely under lockdown conditions. When we came to do pickups...
It's the worst sounding. When we came to do pickups, I had to use the same microphone.
Yeah.
Which was just not as good.
Yeah. But yeah, that's just, we work with what we've got.
Exactly it.
We've been really fortunate that Shy Ghost has had access to a really good microphone recently, so I've been able to direct her over Zoom.
Yeah.
But that's not an option. Also, some people prefer me as director to be there in person. Like I know Pythonics much prefers me to be there on site with him to record. But then there are people who live interstate or even internationally in one particular case where that's just not an option. So we make do with what we can.
Exactly.
Omega is coming to stay with Impolite Y and I in, well, it's making their way down when this releases, actually. As long as everything stays on schedule and as planned. But so Omega's wanting to do a recording session when he's with us.
Nice.
So that's going to be awesome.
That's going to be good.
And yeah, like I bring my mic down, we smash out a session, and then
Awesome. I think that's covered pretty much the whole process there. So it's messy, but it works for us.
Yeah, and it gives people time off, which is big thing for me.
Especially with the scope of what we're doing.
Yeah.
With the number of characters from the number of different series and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Because with for example, Team 4-Star with Dragon Ball Z, realistically, Dragon Ball Z is such a small cast.
Yeah, it is.
Like Dragon Ball's actually got a bigger cast than Dragon Ball Z. But as soon as you get...
because most of the characters cross over, yeah.
Yeah, because Dragon Ball has a lot more character of the week.
Yeah.
Whereas
Dragon Ball Z
is very arc-focused, but also focused around the same characters.
Yeah.
So every arc is basically just focused around the Z Warriors, their enemies. I think the Cell Saga has the most different voices.
King Cold, Cell, and his other forms. Yeah. 17, 18, 16, Jiro, 19.
But then you got
Trunks,
Hercule, all the reporters and stuff like that that are there at the time.
Yeah.
Stuff that goes on in Ginger Town, which is all extra. Yeah. All the extras.
That's a lot of other characters I like. Sorry to cut you off. Ninja Clash on the Land of Snow. When Kakashi says, "Everyone, get back to the ship," and we cut to the crowd, and they're like, "Arr, arr." I played every single member in that crowd, except the characters played by Chris Dowling. But yeah, that's plus
presenters and stuff like that. There's a whole bunch of bit parts.
Yeah.
To that. But casting wise, it's not a lot.
Yeah.
Whereas with Naruto, we've got a lot of the stuff we've kept because from a narrative perspective, you have to keep a lot of stuff. The old people, the elders. The elders. That's it. Almost. I don't know who they are.
You voiced two of them. So.
I know. That's all of them.
Yeah.
But you've got new groups and changing things. You've got characters like Dosu who are only in there for a very brief period. You've got, the random ninja dudes whose names I forget. The dude with the thing and the guy with the scarring on his face.
Raido and Hiraka.
No, the other guy, the one who does transformation, tuning exams, pretends it's room 201, it's actually 301.
Petets and Izumai.
Yeah, those guys, stuff like that. They're random characters, but they're there in those scenes. There's
Ibiki, Anko.
Yeah, exactly. You got all that. Thank God most of the the tuning exams alone is more people than even a Dragon Ball Budokai tournament has.
Yeah.
Regardless whether it's Z or GT, and even the ones in later Z are all the main cast.
Plus 3 or 4 other characters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's a very vast difference with the number of characters. So it means that dialogue-wise, there's not a lot. So you've got Mazuka who voices 3 characters, who only has to voice those 3 characters. And it's a heavily Gohan episode, so he's going to do a lot of Gohan, but it means that Megami isn't going to voice anything for that because in that episode she happens to only voice Bulma, who gets 2 lines of dialogue.
Yeah.
Their episodes are also a lot shorter.
Yeah.
Because they cover
less content.
Well, I mean, how many chapters of Dragon Ball Z are there? There's 297 or 277 or something like that chapters of Dragon Ball Z.
I don't know the figure off
Well,
my
there's
head.
290 episodes. I can't
There's
remember.
296 episodes of the original anime.
But there's a lot less characters.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's one of those things where it does become a bit... I don't even know the point I was trying to make here. I've completely lost that. But there are a lot of characters. So, yeah, our production process works for us because of how many different characters there are.
And then you have people like who might be in university who can't commit for 6 months of the year to record. So we get them at the start or at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Or you have people like Pythonix who plays the main fucking character. I didn't mean to swear then. Not that it's matter for the rest of it or
I was
whatever.
going to say, like, it's like not the first time.
Yeah. But like Naruto by very nature of being Naruto has a fuck ton of lines.
Yeah.
So he and I will just record like 1 or 2 episodes per session, but we do a lot of sessions throughout the year.
Yeah.
But there's like a block of like 4 or 5 episodes in Shippuden.
Where he's not basing them.
Yeah, where he's got 3 lines in 1 episode of Shippuden. And I sent him a screenshot and I said, these are all your lines in Shippuden. He's like, thank fuck.
He's happy to have a break.
Yeah. But that's an episode that's heavily focused on Sasuke.
Yeah.
And introduces Team Heavy. Like, every time you get a new arc with Naruto, you're introducing so many more characters, which means so many more castings. And it's just, and with a series like Naruto, so many characters have naturalistic voices. So we try and honour that wherever we can, but we also mindful of the fact that in the war, there's the Silver Brothers, there's every other random member from every other village, there's the 7 Swordsmen, there's the other Jinchuriki, the other Biju. There's Kaguya, there's Taniri when we get to the last.
There's a lot there.
Yeah, I'm just glad we've cast Sage of 6 parts. That was the easiest casting ever. Which is really weird to say that we've already cast Hagoromo, but there's a reason for that.
For sure.
I need to organise that session as well.
Yeah. Okay. So, shifting gears. So, gear to gear second. Or maybe gear third.
I'm not going to get up and do the pose because I'll just embarrass myself.
What other series are you into, or other hobbies or interests?
I love video games. I'm currently working my way to Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
I don't think I've picked that up yet.
It's got a fantastic hook.
I've also only finished 2 Assassin's Creed games.
Which ones?
3 and Syndicate.
I thought you finished Black Flag.
No, I hate the ship combat.
That's really weird because you convinced me to pick up Black Flag.
Did I?
Yeah. There was a sale at EB and you said go pick up Black Flag and like it's really, really good. I'm like, okay, cool, so I went and picked it up. I told you, you convinced me to pick up Syndicate and I picked up Black Flag and Unity so I could play the games in.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry for lying.
Yeah, Syndicate is a fun game.
That was really good.
I just like Jacob as well.
Yeah.
So you know what? We're assassins. I want to start a game.
Yeah. And Evie was just like the first main female assassin in the animus. She was great. And she set a precedent through Origins and Odyssey and Valhalla and the other side games, which I can't remember their titles. There's one set in China. Chronicles.
Chronicles, yeah. They're the side-scroller ones.
Yeah. They're still technically canon, like the movie. I hate that the movie's canon, but the movie's canon. I really hate it because I was really looking forward to it. It was really bad. Yeah, like I'm working my way through that. I've started playing Red Dead Redemption 2. But
I don't even like Red Dead Redemption. I've started both games.
Wow. I do have RDR2. It was gifted to me by my cousin-in-laws, but because we moved house, I haven't had a chance to play PlayStation 4 yet, so I just started, rather than setting that up, I just started playing Valhalla because I wanted to play something relatively mind-numbing. And I felt like hating myself playing another open world game so quickly.
Yeah, I burned myself out so quickly.
Love Halo. By the time this comes out, I would have already completed Halo Infinite on Legendary multiple times. Thank you in advance.
It's definitely going to be something we can't Legendary.
Absolutely. Once that becomes available.
Yes.
I'll have to solo it first, probably. They'll probably be like a complete legendary in like an hour, and you can do this massive skit to like the very end or something, or whatever. Like, so
We won't exploit stuff like that.
yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so glad we're done with that. And we're not doing Lasso anymore.
No, we tapped out on Lasso.
Yeah.
Unless something major has changed, Lasso is just...
Lasso's out.
We just can't bring ourselves to do it.
It's mentally exhausting.
Yeah. And we've tried a number of times. We started filming our stuff for it.
Yeah, we started filming it. We did it for about a month.
Yeah.
Every Wednesday for a month for like 5 hours a week.
Yeah.
And we got halfway through Pillar of Boredom.
Mm-hmm.
We got 2 checkpoints into Cairo Station.
Yeah. So it just...
When I'm saying 2 checkpoints, 2 checkpoints.
We were up to going into the first big room.
No. We didn't get that far.
No, we get the guns, go straight through, kill the invisible leads, go through the hangar bay, and then you take Johnson upstairs and around and into that big room.
Oh yeah, sorry, I thought you were talking about the hangar bays.
No.
Yeah. We didn't get up to the first hangar bay.
And we're not bad at Halo, we've
beaten all the games in under 3 hours.
Fuck Monopolize.
Monopolize was the worst one. Halo 2 is the worst of the 3-hour achievement games because of levels like Regret. Because of any of the boss fights.
Yeah.
Actually,
Grapevine with Prison Skip is fine.
Yeah, once we got Prison Skip, so thank you,
Rocket Sloth, Elijah, Luke, thank you so much.
Yeah. So, yeah, Monopolize was the worst one because, like, we got... I want to do a video on this at some stage. We got certain levels that we basically mastered straight away.
Yeah.
So Outskirts was one of the first levels we stopped playing.
Yeah.
Because we got it down to like 7 minutes, something like that. I'm like, cool, we're done with this level. We're never touching it again.
Yeah.
That's fine.
We can't possibly...
Gravemine is an hour and 40 minutes. So I think we got that down to like 27 minutes, something like that.
I think we did in 25, didn't you?
I can look it up.
You can.
I can get all that information.
Shall we flex? These are the times we got for Halo 2
We
Legendary.
shall flex when I can find it. It's been a while, so I've got to find...
Or TwstdFlaems gets that up. Make sure to subscribe, like the interview. Check out our other content across youtube.com/Journeyman Abridged. Check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/Journeyman Abridged and on Twitter at Journey Abridged. You can also find us on Patreon for exclusive behind-the-scenes content at patreon.com/Journeyman Abridged. I just had to get the plugs in there, apparently.
Nice. I just realised I was doing a really stupid way of finding it.
Okay.
I was looking through my images for when we saved as opposed to a Halo waypoint. Right.
You can also check us out every single Sunday at 12 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time for my blind reactions to every single One Piece opening. TwstdFlaems has already seen all of these openings. I'm checking them out for the first time ever, so be sure to be here every Sunday to check those out. We also regularly release exclusive clips intermittently throughout the week from all of our series, so that way you see a clip, it's like, oh, I really like that clip, I'm going to send it to somebody, you can do that. I'm running out of stuff to fill time with.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it's just...
No, it's fine.
I'm trying to get... They've changed the layout of the website.
Okay. In the meantime, I'll go back to answering your question. I love the MCU, I love the DCU, I love Star Wars, Doctor Who, Pokemon. I really can't wait for Arcus. I watch a lot of Nuzlocke and Artlocks. Artlocks are cool.
Artlocks?
You don't know what an Artlock is?
Nope.
So basically, from my understanding, I apologize if I get this wrong, Artlocks are when you catch a Pokemon and then you have to draw that Pokemon in like 5 minutes or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And then if it dies, you have to draw that death.
Oh.
Like it's only for artists, so I'm screwed. What else do I like? I like food. That goes without saying. I need that to survive. I love my cats. I love my wife.
Seriously though, like...
I love One Piece. One Piece is great. Zoro's cool.
I'm trying to...
Yeah. It's also over there.
Cool. I can't read this anymore. Have a look at that. That's how the times look.
What? Is that in seconds?
I think so.
What?
Yeah. So apparently we beat Cairo Station in 775 seconds. Outskirts in 404 seconds. Like, this used to be so much better.
Yeah.
Metropolis in 720. Like, Metropolis was a level that took us a while. We got stuck on those rates.
Oh, yeah.
Arbiter was a pain in the ass. Oracle was also a pain in the ass.
Weren't those the last 2 levels we did aside from OK?
OK Journey was one of those ones where we got to a time, and every time we did it, we'd shave off like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So we gave up on that one because we weren't getting enough progress.
For the longest time.
But Arbiter and Oracle were the ones that we needed to save the most time from. And we knew that we could beat Arbiter. We kept getting stuck on this one bit, and then just having to just get through that in one shot, which we knew we could do.
Yeah.
But we couldn't do it consistently, and that was the problem.
Yeah.
It was basically like we would get stuck in the hangar bay, or we'd get stuck in the room just after we turned invisible.
Yep.
So the invisible run. So we'd get stuck in one of those 2 spots, or we'd get all the way to the Banshees and then wouldn't be able to get to where we needed to go because we'd get shot out of the air.
Oh, God,
Because we just had really bad RNG with the Banshees.
Yeah.
And they just ruined one of us.
Yeah. And because of the way that Halo 2 is programmed, if you're on co-op on Legendary, one person dies. Yeah, it's the same as playing with the Iron Soul, and it's fucking stupid. And I wish 343 I had changed that, but whatever.
Yeah, so it meant that, for that level, it's like we'd get through that first bit perfectly. We'd do it in like, oh my God, we've got the best time. We've got a world record time here. Yeah. Getting through this bit. And then get completely butchered on the second bit. Yeah. And then we'd finally get through that. We'd have the easiest room with the Banshee. Yeah. Or the first room, we just get completely rinsed. And it would take us 10 minutes to get out of the room. It's like, why is this part doing...
Also, the corridor bit?
The corridor bit we never struggled with.
We did to begin with. Like, when we first started,
yes. But when we got to the end and we were just struggling on Arbiter and Oracle, and Oracle's a nightmare of a level.
I'm so glad.
Elevator. Stupid room.
I'm so glad for the
invincibility glitch.
Yes. The invincibility glitch, and the big room can just fuck off. If you know the game, you know what we're talking about.
But the invincibility glitch was like one of those hit and miss things. We'd have a really good run, and then we get really bad gravity.
Oh, God. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, really bad gravity, and I get stuck in the elevator shaft.
And I get stuck in the room. It's like, well, fuck, we can't move.
Yeah, so we have to restart the level. And when we got it, we just happened to get really good gravity and really good RNG with the boss fight.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Because I remember Rocket Sloth killed the Heretic leader instantly. Yeah. And that's how they got their best time. Yeah. Whereas we just happened to have one run where it's like, oh, I think this is him. Sword. Okay, that was him. Sweet. He's not dead. But, oh, look, here he is. Sword. Oh, that's him again. Sweet. Dead. It's like, yes. So, yeah. I'm hoping Infinite doesn't have a 3-hour achievement.
For an open world game, it'd be stupid too.
Yeah, yeah. That being said, it depends on if it has level select, kind of like what ODST has. Because the new Mombasa Streets didn't count as part of the...
you just had to complete one of them.
Yeah. You just had to complete the levels. Yeah. So the daytime levels.
Oh my God. Fucking the highway level.
Soho Highway.
Not so hard in ODST.
It's
Coastal Highway.
Coastal Highway, yeah. On Legendary.
That's already a guaranteed half an hour level.
Yeah. We did well on that.
We did.
What our time was for that.
Didn't we do it with 4 players as well?
Yeah, that was one of the 4-player ones. It was us, Cloud, and Shy.
I thought a certain elvish friend helped with that.
Nope.
Or was I thinking of a different game?
I think it's Shy. Okay.
Oh, I think I'm thinking of Spops. When our elvish friend joined us for Spops.
Yeah, he joined us for Spops. I'm pretty sure it was Shy. Okay. For those ones. Yep. I think, did we meet with 4 or did we meet with 3?
I think we did with 4 in the end.
I know we did Halo 3 with 4.
We did Halo 4 with 4 as well.
Yeah. But Halo 2 with 2. Yeah, well. And Halo with 2, because that were the only options.
Reach, I think we did with 4 as well.
No, I don't think we did.
When did we do that with 2?
We did with 3.
Cloud?
We had Cloud.
Yep.
Because I remember that when we got the time for that, I'd blown us up. Because I was just shooting the grenade launcher with the thing and we were up against the wall. I ended up having one bounce up and hit us and blow us up. And we ended up being for like 3 seconds.
Did he end up getting that achievement in the end?
Yes. Yeah. It took him a week.
Is that because he had missed one of the single player missions?
He missed like one of the intro levels. Yeah. Yeah. Good times.
Great classic hits.
Got wonderful. Cool. Let's see. Do you have a fun fact you're comfortable with listeners or watchers being aware of?
I don't think that question's been asked since ever. I don't think that question's ever... Whatever. I'm happy to answer it. Okay. I am... We tried... Okay. It's twofold. So, we tried 3 times to get Digimon off the ground. And we finally did. Back in the day, before we did TwstdFlaems Abridged, the intention was to do Digimon Adventure in episodic format. We wrote the episode, everything was ready to go. The day before we were going to start recording, TFS dropped the first episode of Abridgemon.
Yeah. Okay.
And because we didn't know that there was just going to be a one and done with them, not including the movie that they did, we just had scrapped it, and that's when we moved on to FMA. And then we were going to do Digimon before we did Naruto, but then we didn't want to recast any of Bane's roles, and Bane went to Europe for a year and couldn't record. So when we finally did, we were able to begin working on Digimon and release episode 1. Third time was definitely the charm. And the second part is, it's not even a fun fact about me, in Naruto, in Digimon Adventure, and in Naruto Shippuden, this guy has the first line of all 3 series.
Which is insane.
And a complete coincidence.
Yes, so now it's a thing.
It's a thing.
Excellent. Right, cool. So that's about it. So I think we'll call it there. Do you have any closing comments, criticisms, critiques, or concerns?
You said we were going to do this really, really quickly, but it's been about average length, just by chance. Yeah, I already plugged to do all the stuff earlier. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoy our content. If you do, you know what to do. And
like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz.
Jazz hands. Now if I look at the camera and do that. Jazz hands. Jazz hands, yay. And we will see you. Alright, we don't know when we're doing the next interview, just simply because we haven't planned out beyond this.
This is the last one potentially for a while.
Yeah, just because we don't want to throw people into the deep end before they've really debuted or had many recording sessions. Mm-hmm. So we'll think of some other supplementary material to release in between episodes. But until then, bye.
Thank you so much for watching or listening to the 9th ever cast interview. We hope you enjoyed this insight into the world of Journeyman Abridged. And thank you so much to our friend the Curly Cartoonist over on Twitter at Curly Cartoonist for her work on our personalized avatars. Join us in the next one, coming sometime in 2022. To be honest, we don't exactly know when because we haven't planned that far ahead, but you will get another interview from us a little bit later in the year. Until then, stay safe, and we'll see you all very soon.